Survivorship bias, the bullet holes that lied the story of Abraham Wald. Imagine you are a military commander during World War II. Hundreds of planes are sent into battle, only half come back. The ones that return are covered in bullet holes. The damage is everywhere, on the wings, on the tail, on the fuselage. You want to protect your pilots and save your planes, so you look at the returning aircraft. You see where the bullet holes are the worst. You think, let us reinforce those areas. That is where they are getting hit the most. That is where they need the most armor. It makes perfect sense. It seems logical. It seems like the right decision, but you have just made a massive mistake. You have fallen prey to one of the most common and dangerous logical errors in human history, something called survivorship bias. You are looking only at the planes that have survived the mission. You are ignoring the planes that did not come back. This is the classic example used in behavioral science to explain the flaw of ignoring the silent evidence. Enter Abraham Wald. He was not a pilot. He was not a general. He was a brilliant mathematician from Columbia University. The military brought him in to figure out how to best protect the planes. Wald looked at the data the military gave him. He saw the bullet holes on the wings and the tail. He listened to their plan to add armor, and he said, "You are doing it wrong." Wald explained it simply. You are looking at the planes that came back. You are not seeing the planes that did not make it. The bullet holes you see on the returning planes are the places where a plane can be hit and still survive. The real fatal damage is happening on the planes that were shot down and never returned. The data you need is sitting in a graveyard, not on this runway. The areas that were damaged on the planes that did come back, the wings, the tail, the fuselage, are not the critical areas. The critical areas are the ones that, when hit, resulted in the plane not coming back at all. Wald recommended reinforcing the engines and the cockpit, the areas where the returning planes showed no damage. That was the silent evidence. That was the true danger. The military had focused only on the survivors. This is a classic example of survivorship bias, where we concentrate on those who made it and overlook those who did not, simply because they are no longer visible. This is the same bias that makes you overestimate your chances of becoming a billionaire by dropping out of college. You see the Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerbergs who succeeded, but you ignore the millions of college dropouts who failed. Their stories are never told. They are silent. We see this everywhere. In business, we study the successful startups and try to copy their magic formulas, ignoring the 90% of startups that fail. We think we can replicate their success by adopting their strategies, but we forget that many others adopted the same strategies and disappeared. In finance, investors look at the top-performing mutual funds that exist today and think they are great. They forget the hundreds of poorly performing funds that were shut down and merged away. Survivorship bias is deeply embedded in our daily thinking. We ask successful people for advice and copy their habits, thinking that if we do what they do, we will get what they got. But what about the thousands of failures who had the same habits? We do not see them. We hear the success story and think the formula is simple: work hard, be confident, and do not give up. But this is a myth. We do not see the role of luck. We do not see the timing. We do not see the connections or the help they got that we do not know about. The paradox is that the advice business is run by survivors. When you read a book by a successful person, you are hearing only the voice of someone who survived. The person who had all the same qualities, the same talent, the same drive, the same effort, and did not make it is silent. Abraham Wald saved the lives of countless pilots and planes because he looked at the data that was not there. He found the truth in the silence. This is the lesson for all of us. When making any decision, we must ask ourselves, what am I not seeing? What is the data that is missing? Do not just focus on the success. data that is silent. Abraham Wald did not just save planes, he changed the way we think. He taught us that the most important information is often found where you least expect it.